Hi, my name is Mark Storr, Tech Service Rep here in Central Iowa for BSF. And today I'm with Liam Vincent. Liam is a Tech Market Manager for BSF for Liberty Herbicide. And we're here to talk about how to get the most out of your Liberty herbicide.
We're here at a bulk facility in Iowa where here and nationally we're seeing a rise in the number of bulk tanks dedicated to housing Liberty herbicide for long periods of time. And so we thought it best with those who are new to using the product or simply haven't used it in a while that we provide them with some best management practices around storage and use.
And BSF recommends that Liberty be stored in a heated environment, stainless steel bulk tanks. The bulk tank should have 2 eductors to provide for good recirculation ability. And we'd like to keep that environment and air temperature between 32 and 100 degrees.
Sure, and the reasons behind that is simply to make sure that we keep all components of the formulation in uniform suspension. We believe that our patented surfactant blend is a critical market differentiator for us, and that in order to make sure all of those components are in suspension, we recommend some specific practices and recommendations.
The common practice when any bulk material is handled is to recirculate the material in the bulk system before we would transfer that to other containers.
That's right, and a tank turnover is simply the required amount of time in order for your tank and its pump system to recirculate that product and the entire volume of that tank. And that's going to be dependent on your pump size, your pump horsepower, your tank size certainly, and then the size of your eductor nozzles to move that product through the tank. So if you have a properly installed double eductor system, it could be just under an hour in order to do 3 tank turnovers for a 2,400 gallon system. So it doesn't take quite as long as a lot of people think. If you don't have an eductor system currently plumbed into your tanks, you can purchase an aftermarket attachment to put on, for example, a recirculation hose, which can help with product mixing.
But one of the things we need to do different with Liberty is to take the time after we've done our recirculation, get to the top of the bulk tank, look down the inspection port, and take a look at the product and make sure that we don't have a gel layer which may have separated from the formulation. And Liam, why is that important?
Yeah, absolutely. That gel layer is simply adjuvant rich. We believe that surfactant brings up to 40% of the product performance that you've come to rely on with Liberty herbicide, and really provides that excellent weed control that you're looking for. So it's really important to check for that gel layer when you're checking your tank at the beginning of the year.
And after we've inspected that bulk tank, after our 3 turns and recirculation, we don't see any gel layer, we are free to go ahead and pack off into those mini bulks and or tote. There are certain situations where when we inspect after recirculation, we can see this gel layer on top. Folks want to know maybe what it looks like. Well, it's obviously a different color, different shade of color. It's not in a liquid state like the dark, smooth maroon color that you'd see out of a normal Liberty formulation. It may have a rough looking appearance or almost a waxy appearance or even wrinkled appearance, and then you're dealing with some type of semi-solid on top of that formulation. And it's important then to recirculate and make sure we get that back in suspension. Again, this is the reason for the 2 eductors, where we have 2 different spray nozzles basically within the spray tank set at 180 degrees from one another, one pointing down in the bulk tank, one pointing up, and that gives us maximum recirculation ability within the bulk tank. And generally, just the recirculation alone, given time, will take care of your gel layer. In certain situations where, particularly if you're storing outdoors, you may need to warm that up, and you could use a tank heater and or a space heater. In rare cases where you need a little additional help, you may use something like this. This is just a mechanical agitation device. There are several on the market. This one here has actually been adapted here for use in bulk tanks with different extensions. But I've got it attached to a hand drill here, and you can see how it works. But this one is capable of being used in mini bulks or shuttles all the way up to bulk tanks to give you that additional aeration and mechanical agitation to get that gel layer back in suspension.
All great points, and these are all practices that we recommend you start doing in the spring with your bulk volumes of Liberty herbicide. And that's simply to protect your pumps, your piping, your valves, because with freezing throughout the fall and winter, we don't want product to get stuck in those and then cause issues when you're ready to go. It's important to remember product temperature does not equal outdoor temperature. So if you're getting ready to go and it's 40 degrees outside, but you've had a long winter, that product is probably not at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It takes a long time for all of that volume to really get up to temperature. So something to keep in mind before trying to recirculate. Once you are ready to go, we want you to do the recirculation necessary to disperse any gel layer if it is present. We want you to check that tank if you have a gel layer. And then once that has cleared up and you've done your tank turnovers, you know you're ready to go and pack out those shuttles and totes.
So in summary, what we're looking at here is our recommendations to store Liberty in a heated environment like we've got here, stainless steel tanks with 2 eductors to give us maximum recirculation. We want to recirculate material at least 3 turns. After we've made those 3 turns, we want an inspectable tank, make sure that we don't have a gel layer. If you don't, go ahead and repack into those totes and shuttles. If you have the gel layer forming, we need to resolve that, get that back in suspension, and then once that's taken care of, begin repacking into those totes and or shuttles.
For more information about Liberty Herbicide, contact your local area BASF representative or go to yourliberty-herbicide.com.